I'm Jen Brington, Economic Development Specialist, and today we are at Rahr Corporation. I'm with Jesse Tice, COO of Rahr. Hi, Jesse.
How are you?
Great. Can you tell me a little bit about Rahr?
Yeah, Rahr's it's Rahr Corporation is made up of a number of different entities. Rahr has been located in Shakopee since 1935. Traditionally a malt production facility. We are the largest single malt production facility in the world. People don't realize that when they walk by. But since then the campus has grown to include a technical center, a BSG subsidiary that does bagging and palletizing of malt and processing everything a brewer needs across the street, and a number of other facilities that have made this campus fairly large.
So Rahr is primarily known for malts. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, malt is really the body of the beer. It provides the carbohydrate source for the brewing process. Eventually the yeast need that as a basic substrate for making beer. The key is though that it also provides the enzymes that are required for that process. It is really the biggest functional component of the beer mix.
Rahr has a long history in Shakopee, is that right?
It has, since 1935, and no one better to explain that than William Rahr, our CEO.
I'm with Willie Rahr, President of Rahr Corporation. Thanks for having us.
It's wonderful having you out here, Jen.
I can't help but notice the name. Any relation to the company?
There is a relation. I'm fifth generation family member working in the company. Our company was founded in 1847 in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, and we built our first malt house here in Shakopee in 1935, and we've been growing ever since.
What does it mean to you to continue the legacy of this company that your family has built?
It means a tremendous amount. I am the steward of these assets for our generation, and this company was built for 5 generations on the concept of quality and on the concept of relationships that are positive and constructive between Rahr and its community, and Rahr, its employees, and its customers.
As Shakopee has grown, I'm assuming Rahr has too. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Of course. We've had tremendous growth over the last 15 years on the backs of the growth of the craft brewing industry. We've invested a tremendous amount of money in new malt plants, in a technical center, in a brewer supply group distribution center and bagging line. It's been transformative for the company and an absolute blast to participate in.
Billy, would you be able to give us a tour of the Rahr facility?
I would love to, but instead I'm going to hand you back off to Jesse Tice, our Chief Operating Officer, who's much better equipped to give you that tour.
Jesse, now that we are in the malt house, can you tell us a little bit about the malting process?
Yeah, I sure can. So the malting process actually starts in the barley elevator. Most people, when they drive by a Rahr Malting company, think of us as an elevator system where grain is received and cleaned and shipped back out. Well, we do part of that here, but we do much more. So we receive the grain in the barley elevator, we physically clean the barley and prepare it to be steeped into the malt house. So there's 3 distinct stages of malting: steeping, germination, and kilning. The first of those, steeping, is where we immerse the barley in water and we replicate what would happen in nature if we planted seeds in the field. When it rains, the seeds would take up water, start to germinate. The key to this whole process is we have to get the barley to germinate. So after steeping, a 40-hour process of being immersed in water, in order to handle that kind of respiration activity, we need to transfer it to these big beds. These beds have perforated floors below them and a lot of tempered air that's processed and passed through that bed. In doing so, we can maintain a barley temperature, and we can also keep the humidity levels at a perfect level to allow for that germination process to occur. I'll take a sample now. Here we have germinating barley. And Jen, if you look at that, you can see there's actually rootlets and there's sprouts that are coming off that barley. That's a good indication. It's an indication that the barley is growing. This material has been in process now for about 3 days. We can see that it's got pretty good rootlets and pretty good sprouts, all good indications that we've done this germination process. So Jen, after the germination process is complete, we need to stabilize that product because it's really at 48% moisture. To do that, we need to dry it down rather quickly to stabilize the enzymes. After we transfer it from the germination bed, it goes to a kiln. And that kiln is a large vessel similar to what you see here in germination. Large amounts of air are passed through that kiln bed at temperatures ranging from 140 degrees Fahrenheit to 185 degrees. Those are the typical plumes of humidity that people driving by our facility will sometimes comment and think it's smoke. It's actually just water vapor as we dry the malt. After we're done doing that, we establish a color in the malt. We establish that malty flavor. We'll transfer that material then over to the finished malt elevator where it's cleaned and graded again, put into bins, and then sent off in trucks and or rail to the next distribution point.
Jesse, can you tell me a little bit about your time here at Rahr?
Yeah, I've been here a long time. Actually, I've been here since I graduated from the University of Minnesota. And I started as a production supervisor in 1981. And fortunately, I've been able to grow with the company. I've moved through a variety of positions ultimately to the point where I'm now the CEO of the corporation. Typically, someone in my position would probably be someone who's worked for a large multinational and had to move throughout. I've been able to have an entire career and advance in that career in my hometown, where I've been able to be involved in the community and been part of the school system and the development of the large economic base that has become Rahr Malting Company.
Jesse, why do you feel Shakopee is a great place to do business?
I think it's a place where city government understands a little bit about the objectives of our business. They've been cooperative and worked with us closely to see our growth from basically a small malting operation to a large complex on the west end of town. We have long-standing relationships that lead to good, productive work that ends up in what is now Rahr.
Jesse, thank you so much for taking time today to show us around Rahr Corporation, and thanks for being a Shakopee business.
Thank you, and thank you for the time.
That's it for this episode. Until next time, remember to think Shakopee Business.